Hello, welcome back once again to the Nexus Rumble. Of course, here we are today with the lower Rumble, and I am joined, of course, by Scissor. How are you doing, Scissor?
I'm doing quite alright still, thanks. We found our teams! They're still alive.
They are still alive. They had False Sky banned out already by MK Robotics.
Good choice. Good choice. I hate that map.
After, of course, we've just had a very long match for the team that is called Vacation in Purgatory. So good to have that one got rid of. And now Garden of Terror also being banned out. This is looking dreamy. We have Cursed Hollow, Tomb of Spider Queen, and Ultrac Pass. We're almost guaranteed to get Ultrac Pass here in this if Azok gets their way. If Azok loses, they'll pick it. If it gets picked now, they'll be happy. And if they win, well, maybe we won't get it. But then Azok will be still happy. So Azok is happy no matter what here, and that's all that matters.
And that's what matters. I'm playing video games, right?
Yeah, a bit of happiness. That's why we. Well, it's not necessarily why we play things. I always say people play games for satisfaction, not necessarily happiness. Which is why.
I think that's a good point you're making, even if it's a bit on the nose. But yeah,
sometimes winning doesn't. Well, winning in Storm League, it doesn't necessarily make you happy, but you will feel satisfied, maybe. So, who knows? Who knows, as we'll be looking at which map is going to be played, and it's going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen. So, my favourite map here, Scissor.
Well, then it's only fair if they play mine next. Well, it's not my favourite, but it's not. It's my favourite of the pool.
Tomb of the Spider Queen. Oh, now I would say they need to be looking at picking up some wave clear, and they need to be thinking how they're going to be taking those camps and how they're going to be controlling those points. That's what you want to be thinking about on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Really make sure that you cover those points.
All of those questions can be answered by Joanna if she gets through.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Johanna does do very well. She can sort of step up, and and she has decent wave clear. Obviously, she lacks that gap closing, but it's all fine. Other things to think about. I always think Hanzo is not too bad on this map. I've banned Hanzo before and got flamed for it in Storm League. Legit, that person, instead of picking any hero, they just insta-lock Zul'jin. I say insta-locked. They insta-locked it as soon as they were back from being away after the bans. And so we already had 2 DPS. We then had 3 DPS. But yeah, apparently that's...
I'm thinking you did not win that game, I don't think.
No, we did not. We did not. But yeah.
I've had some weird Storm League games that we actually won. Thinking of the quadruple DPS on Warhead Junction.
Yeah.
How?
Warhead Junction's just a big old coin flip sometimes, and that's part of the fun. That's part of the fun. Let's go into the map.
Probably why we don't want that map into the official Heroes Lounge selection thing.
Probably wise. We've got Sidonian here saying, winning in Storm League feels like running into a brick wall. You're left feeling like rubbish.
They're not wrong.
Yeah, it certainly can be a little bit funky, but that's why you just have to play so you do enjoy it. Get some satisfaction.
Just play some more. You will enjoy one of your games, surely.
Eventually.
Surely the next game will enjoy Trance. Surely.
You will enjoy it, and don't call me Shirley. So, first pick here for Vacation in Purgatory. They're going to be leaving the Johanna out and available, I imagine. However, what they ban is got to be down to what they feel like they've scouted out here for the side of MK Robotics.
And it's Leoric. I agree with the Leoric ban on Tomb of the Spider Queen. This wave clear is just so efficient.
MK Leorics.
MK Leorics. Well, there's the Joanna ban. So, not the Swiss Joanna Knight. I'm not sure where I went with that. No Joanna on this map.
Yep, and so lots of wave clear already been taken out. Blaze is still available, so it's Stukov if they really want to go for sort of something like that. I'm trying to think what else. Like Kel'Thas, of course, can be consideration, as well as Gul'dan. It's going to be Diablo. So really choking down those tanks. What does this mean? Diablo and Leoric both gone.
Yeah, so really prioritizing that front line. Yeah, there's still enough mages for the wave clear, so they should be okay with that. What do these bans tell us? Anduin, that's also surprising to go for the Anduin instead of the Rhaegar or the Stukov, which are also still open. Brightwing, even.
Well, in the lower leagues, Anduin takes much more of a priority, due to the fact that he can sort of save people, and a lot of the time you commit a lot of resources, you stick around a lot to try and get that kill, but ultimately the Anduin saves them. But we do see that Stukov being picked up here already immediately by Azog.
Well, there's no Lily pick then.
Not yet.
Yeah, double healer, Lily, Stukov, let's go. I do expect the Rhaegar on the other side. Like, he's so good at securing the camps on this map, and he provides an additional source of wave clear with that lightning shield. And we have an early Maiev, and instead Brightwing. Okay, I like it.
Yeah, so Maiev can be used a little bit as a tank, but ultimately can just do a lot of disruption. The Brightwing helps with sort of allowing her to do a lot of things as well, giving her a little bit of movement speed with the pixie dust, as well as maybe polymorphing some of those targets that try to evade her. So we'll see how well these two get along here, but ultimately on the other side of things, Blaze is still available if they want it, but they're going for the Anubarak and the Zagara.
Ooh, that's a Lori special.
It is a Lori special for sure.
And Maiev as a tank needs additional sources of healing, I've been told by a semi reliable source.
Yeah, I think, this is working out pretty well so far for both teams. They've got some unusual picks, so they might be trying to focus on what they want first and then adapting later. So we see the Junkrat coming in here as a ban.
Like, we're picking all these heroes off the wall, and now we're back to banning the meta heroes. Let's go.
I mean, this sort of means, like, on the side of VIP, they're thinking, what on earth are we supposed to ban right now? What on earth are we supposed to ban? They've got Brightwing Maiev. I guess maybe they should think about banning an auto-attacker, something that could really affect a Nubarak, like a Vala, like a Reyna. Could be things, and there is the Vala.
Yeah, not too surprising. I think something that happens to combine with a cage will be the pick here.
Yeah,
like a Hanzo or
Fear.
Not that.
I mean,
Not
she
that.
does. Her heroics,
Yeah.
either one does really well with Cage. I mean, if you go for the Eternal Hunger,
You're not going to go kill buildings real fast now if you ever win a team fight.
No, this is the problem, and that means that they will have a lot of trouble unless they have the objective. So we'll have to wait and see. On the other side of things, Zagara does very well. I could see a Sylvanas, but there's going to be a Cassia, and on the off lane, you're going to be having a Hogger.
That's also a bit surprising.
Yeah,
Like,
so Hogger's not a superb offlaner on this map, but still does fine. On the other
I'm
side,
not surprised by the Hogger. I was more surprised by the Cassia pick, to be honest.
it doesn't give you a lot of wave clear, does it, on the side of the Blues?
And Zagara is also that weird mix of a half mage. So now you have two half mages in your team.
Makes
And
a whole mage. You've got a whole mage and a whole auto attacker.
yeah, that's usually not how that math works out, but we shall see. If Skizarent, yeah, Black Milk, I'm right here for your enjoyment. May is the final pick on the opposing side. Now, I do like that because you can set up a snowball into the Maiev cage, into the Orpheal, and do the wombo combo. Now, Is that too many eggs in a basket? Yes, most definitely. Is it fun if it happens? Also, yes, definitely.
I mean, they can also do it with Ice Wall. Like, you can do it with either of May's heroics. You can also slow people down to try and get that May pull off a little bit easier. I like it. I like the May here, Scissor.
Snowball, that's so much. Okay, yeah, well, Ice Wall also works, I guess.
I guess.
You want to be boring about it.
Yeah, but on the other side, of course, they do have that Stukov silence, which can really damage Maiev in that that cage. Obviously, Maev's free to leave the cage, but it just shuts down Maiev doing any sort of major damage
at all. Yeah.
So let's
And
see
that's
what they go for.
Why I think the blue team is a little bit more, will be a little bit more consistent, but if the red team can make it happen, well, then it happens.
Right, let's see as we go into game number 1 here in our lower rumble. And it is Vacation in Purgatory. Here in the blue, it is Mad Morph on that Anubrak, Azog 533 on the Stukov, Supernova on Cassia, Lorith the Lion on the Zagara, and here on Hogger it is Depraved Lunatic.
And on the red side, the MK Robotics with Hain playing Urel, Shady playing Right Wing, and Dear Ennis on Orphea, Muchista on Maiev, and Xazil on the May.
Yeah, so we've just got a little quick pause here. Let's see. Don't have Zezil. Zezil is no longer at their computer. They're claiming to be, but it's going to have to be you, Scissor, that of course unpauses as the referee.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 10 seconds to go still on the clock, so we should be okay. Okay, let's get back into this game, Scissor, as we see what these teams do on 2-Minute Spider Queen. So, as we see, charge strikes coming out here from Cassia. So going a bit more auto-attack based. We've got a few people in the chat here. Tiny Toxic Tofu has just joined us. This isn't Tofu-chan. No, this is Transparent and Scissor. We're doing some casting here for Heroes Lounge. And this is our little Nexus Rumble, exclamation mark Rumble, to find out the info all about it.
It's a questing Stukov. That's also a bit surprising.
Scissor muted? Nope, certainly isn't.
Oh.
I was just talking a lot.
Yep, I was doing stuff for the team, so I was not talking a bit. Questing Stukov, what do we think of that?
Unusual, that is for sure. But if anyone's going to play it, it's going to be Azog. Let's be honest here.
Not really. Infest on Zagara. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, obviously they want to make big plays out of this push, and you know there isn't a great deal of wave clear on the side of the red. So if they're able to do a lot of siege damage, maybe it'll pop off. But a good stun here onto the Cassia means that Supernova was in danger. The red team not able to follow through just quite yet.
Yeah, nice bit of damage being put out onto the Cassia, but the May took a lot of damage in return as well. So they do have to play a little bit careful.
Yeah, down in the bottom, of course, Hogger is just trying to push in against this Urel. Already going to churn in some of those gems, make sure they start racking them up on the other side of things. Mutrayesta a little bit low, has to be careful. Brightwing will not have their port just yet. They've used it fairly recently. Of course, these minion kills do help every single time.
Yeah, the double soaking will get that that phase shift back real quick. So should have that healing bug back up very soon, shortly.
A good bit of CC put onto Anubrak means that they are going to die. First blood goes over to MK Robotics.
See, that's just a tactical feat, because now the tank does not have to turn in, and instead the backline can pick up the gems, and then the tank will be able to peel for them while the backline turns them in.
Yeah, but Lorith the Lion now going down to help with the siege camp, trying to put a little bit of spice in this, but engage at the top, still looking so good here. Supernova and Azog able to get away, but still keeping resets on the Maiev. Maiev falling lower and lower, but Cassia is the one to go down as Mutrayesa is able to blink away.
Yeah, usually Hogger does not need any help with that bottom siege camp, but well, Zagara is there now anyway, so we'll have to deal with that.
Or, you know, it sometimes can be quite good to rotate one of the ranged DPSs so that your solo laner can sort of keep up appearances that you're not actually doing anything. Hane goes to scout it out just a little bit too late as Hogger rotates to do the Bruiser camp. This is exactly what I expected from the Hogger. Goes to top, starts bouncing around, and will be trying to pick up this Bruiser camp just by themselves.
0 APM gameplay on the Hogger. Let's go.
I mean, we can actually see the APM if I press the right button.
Yeah,
it's
fine. It's fine. Oh, he ruined his spin as well. Well, never mind.
We see that Zagara is putting out 300 APM here. Lorithalion really try-harding to try and help with this push in the bottom. Meanwhile, Maiev is looking to maybe try and defend their camp, but blue team done a grand job of stalling out the reds just outside of theirs.
Yeah, and stalling that mercenary camp just outside of your own walls means that the towers will help to defend, but the Anubrak might be in a spot of trouble as well. Getting pulled back into the silent zone, but he makes it out with a sliver of HP.
Yeah, and this is what you sort of see from Stukov, is that it can be really hard to balance your cooldowns, try and find something. Without the cleanse, they're going to get beaten around by this composition on the side of the red team. They have to be so careful managing that long cooldown that Stukov has to be able to pop the healing.
Yeah, because that healing pathogen, I believe it's called, it heals for nothing without that bio kill switch.
Yeah, and you have to be so careful. But look how aggressive Mutrayesta is playing. They're really going for it. They're going for Lorithalion. Out comes the Blizzard as well to peel for Mutrayesta as well as try and help something. But with the low blow, there isn't even a low blow. It's just the expanding arm. They managed to get the kill. Fantastic stuff here from the Blues. And you think maybe if they had low blow, getting that kill would have been just that little bit easier.
Most definitely. But, you know, Stukov is now a ranged hero, and his attack slows, and
yeah, not just that, but also they'll be having a free cast. They'll be having the free cast of the W towards the later stages of the game once they get it stacked.
Yeah,
it all adds up. It all adds up.
What the quest does. I've seen it so little.
It gives you mana back. Well, not mana back, but reduces the mana cost from 50%. Well, you get 50% halfway in the quest and 100% at the end.
Oh, we have blue web weavers coming down first, right around that level. I was going to say 7 mark, but we're almost level 9 already. So just before the first ultimates will come out, we have the first web weaver phase in favor of the blue team.
And what can they do with this? They have the Zagara to try and put a little bit of pressure on. I really want to see it. We can see that, you know, these stacks are going up for Infest. I don't know how many they are. Maybe you can investigate Scissor as the co-caster.
Oh, on what the Zagara is doing. Not really saying. I don't think I can actually see it.
If we click on Lorithalion, actually, we can see that, yeah, we can't see the...
Well, not saying.
That's crazy. Yeah. Okay, we'll never know.
I don't think you can see it as Zagara either in game, actually.
I believe you can. It should, like, it's under, like, her talent.
I can check her siege damage out and then just divide that by 1,000. Yeah, so that's fire. No, that's XP gained.
Siege damage has been 18,000, so it's not actually all that much.
No.
And the Web Weaver's actually completely cleared up so well for the red team. They barely get anything.
Ooh, I saw Hogger might be in trouble in the bot lane.
He does have Hortipult, so he is able to jump over. Hortipult being that great escape tool that you can use as Hogger if you get into some of these situations.
Yeah, so 2 ults exchanged. Well, I think that Maze is the more powerful ult. Oh. We have Zagara not going Maw, but going thingy. Nidus Network.
Yeah, well, Nidus Network, you get the big value of having the battle momentum.
What? Battle momentum?
It's an old talent that was basically cooldown reduction. Sorry, I should have said this. Cooldown reduction on your basic abilities from auto attacks while on creep, which is what Nidus Network does. Out comes the cage here, the Warden's cage. Orphea not popped their heroic just yet. No, they did. That was the Jaws. Sorry, Crushing Jaws comes out, and they are able to get that kill onto Zagara. With no Zagara, the red team should be able to defend these web weavers, but ultimately they don't have a great deal of push themselves.
What? Those web weavers are red, so they will have that push with the web weavers, right?
Yeah, but they can't supplement it too much themselves. They just sort of defend the web weavers. A nice ice wall comes out, fending off Supernova, but they are able to find a gap right around the edge, and of course, this fort is still up and healthy for now.
Well, May even went the Fort Disable talent to help the web weavers push just that little bit more, and even using that talent only halfway through this fort. Now they still have a fairly decent alive web weaver in the top lane, which still needs to be cleared.
Nice stun onto Mucho Esther, but they are able to get themselves away. It looks like this top 4 is going down, especially with the May Snowball. It means that the Web Weaver phase claims its first victim on this map.
Yeah, and they rotate down back to mid, put some more pressure on this fort. And they will take this mid fort shortly as well. So that's 2 forts down in favor of the red team. Very well played by them, even without that sustained damage dealer on their side.
Yeah, and with 1 second to go, with 45 gems now turned in from Urel, it looks like the red team could have got a cheeky turn in as well with Dear Anis here on the bottom, but already they get it straight away. The blue team has to do their bruiser camp and will have to defend a second Web Weaver phase after just now losing 2 forts.
Yeah, and those successive web weaver waves shortly after each other, those are the most dangerous usually on this map, because the waves are still pushed in, so that second spider web weaver wave will just do that much more because they can spawn in an aggressive position. Red team is on the hunt for the Hogger. Hogger spinning. He has Hortopult, so he should be able to just leave.
Yeah, he has just left.
Yep,
but it did cost him his heroic ability. Now he'll be going off to defend that mid. Now, you were sort of saying how the Web Weaver waves will be pushed in already, but I think with the map ultimately being taken down...
well, I was expecting them to push the top lane, to be fair, not hunt around for the Hogger for 30 seconds, so...
It has been well defended here by the Blues as well.
Yeah. They did... they did lose that bottom lane for, but I was honestly expecting to at least get like a keep wall on the top lane or something like that. Maybe they'll get it on the bottom lane.
Nope. Hogger, meanwhile, by the way, has just been pushing out top, and there is now a decent chunked wave of ranged minions following up on a wave here that should take out almost half of this fort if left unattended.
Yeah, well, they'll go and grab those gems because they are still important. You want that third Web Weaver wave somewhere down the line.
Yeah, but now is the chance. The red team have 40 gems. It's still a decent amount, and the blue team have plenty more. 60 and only 2 to go to get a turn in. We see an engage comes in. Doesn't quite connect onto the Brightwing. Hogger in mid animation here does go forward, but we see the pull coming out on the back. Lorithaline in a little bit of danger with no more. They've got no team fight ability here. They are just going through to Brave Lunatic, putting a lot of damage here. Shady getting through, but Orphea is going to be the one that goes down. She can't sustain herself. Now Mad Morph is looking at Zizil. Are they able to get away? They do indeed, and the blue team getting themselves a kill here. Really nice, and it's going to open themselves up to getting that next turn in. But they need to be careful. This bottom wave is so far pushed out, Scissor.
Did you hear the Maiev Fan of Knives go during the team fight? It was like a solid 8 seconds of just it just kept going, getting more resets. I was just entranced by fight on the top turn-in point. And it looks like Hogger is going down, losing a lot of gems in the process as well. I don't think anyone will be able to reclaim those.
Yeah, Mad Morph not even sort of thinking about it. 35 gems gone. Out comes the Ice Wall, pinching off Mad Morph. He does have the Burrow Charge available if he wants, but Hane is looking to shut off. Azog now has been indeed shut off. The Polymorph comes out. He's looking to get slowed. He's able to complete his level 1 quest, and that does slow them down, but Shady is able to use that Pixie Dust to be able to cleanse it. And it's not Pixie Dust, it's the Critical Mist. Well, it's not the Critical Mist, it's the other stuff, but who cares?
Soothing Mist, I believe.
Soothing Mist. And it removes the slows. So Azog does go down, but for a trade, we do see top fort go down and maybe this bottom fort as well.
Bottom fort is also dead, yeah.
It just goes down so quickly to the minions when they're stacked up, Scissor.
Yeah, those range minions are no joke. You don't really need catapults to bring a fort down. Like, if you just get a nice chunky minion wave on it, that fort doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah, so now we see 16 to level 16. This is where things start to get a little bit spicy for the Zagara. They do have that corrosive saliva. Percentage damage on this, as well as the Cassia having martial law. They can look to try and put some slows coming out from the Stukov, coming out from the Anubarak, maybe even the Hogger at times, and try and do some decent damage to that Mei, to that Yrel, really punishing that front line.
But the red team still has that fort in the middle lane as a nice fallback point, or point of assault to either of these turning points, while the blue team's forts are strangely absent from this map right now. Ooh, Yrel might be in trouble in the bottom lane. Her ult is popped. She's put in a cocoon. I'm not sure you want to put your kill target in a cocoon like that, because that gives her team the time to show up and be of assistance. And here we now have a full 5 versus 5 team fight. Hogger is spinning. Let's see. Look at the damage being done to the red team. They do get this first kill onto the Stukov, but they lose 2 heroes in the process. And the Valkyrie hitting that Brightwing, but the angle was just not right to grab that kill. Oh, Brightwing was booped back, but decides to move back forward. I'm not sure. Well, she's safe. Okay. In the end, 2-for-1 exchange.
I think it was some sort of dodging technique to like create space and then use blink heal, but Hogger was just one auto attack away from killing her, and if they were just a little bit closer, Brightwing would have gone down. But 2-for-1 here, not too bad for the blue team, and they are looking straight at this boss camp.
Yeah, they'll probably get it without a healer. This boss deals a lot of damage to your heroes, so if this gets sniffed out, the red team might just make a play for it, but they're pretty spread all over the map, so blue team's probably safe to just get it.
Yeah, and they have Zagara. You know, it's good damage to take it down, as well as the Hogger bouncing around, but they have to be careful. The red team are pushing out bot wave. The mid wave is already crashing onto this keep with a Bruiser camp backing it up. Although it is just the mage minion of the Bruiser camp, it's still, you know, it looks scary on the mini-map.
There's still that crossbone skull on the map. Yeah, anyway, the blue team is trying to secure a turn in right now, which means that the red team basically get a free defense of this boss.
Well, you say that. It is a free defense, but they have to think about the Web Weaver wave afterwards. And the blue team, you know, they get a free time to push out these waves. It is going to land right here, though, and it's so unfortunate because if they cleared those minions just 2 seconds earlier, it would have been spawning straight at the fort in the mid lane.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They didn't get any real value from that boss. They got a tower and a wall. And now the Web Weavers spawn all the way in Africa, so just no value out of that over there. So,
okay. This mid Wave Weaver is coming in now. But it has
slowly
already lost almost half its HP.
Very slowly. And it's there. Okay, well, here we are. Web Weaver has arrived.
I think we're going to get a fort out of this, and that's about it, Scissor.
So basically, you use the turn in, you fought for your life with the boss, and out of that you got a mid lane fort. That's not worth it at all.
Well, perhaps it's put them a little bit of instead of gaining the map, really getting the pressure across there, and you know, level 20
it's a morale
is just around the
boost.
corner.
Yeah, that's a morale boost.
They do have to be careful though. With level 20 around the corner, they want to be soaking up some of the XP, and it's here now for the Reds. They look for it already. The Ice Wall comes out, separating Azog from the team, but a good stun from Mad Morph being there, able to get away. But unfortunately, I don't think they've got the burrow available. They're looking to cocoon onto the Orphea. Can they find something? Mutriest are unable to get that pull that they wanted.
Hogger went in. I'm not sure if that was needed, because I think Burrow Charge was coming off of cooldown, and now Hogger might be in a spot of trouble. Doesn't have that, what's it called again?
Order Pult available? No.
Yep.
But a spin means that they are able to get away, even with the tether on from Mutriesta. The unstoppable spin means that they can escape. Good stuff here by Depraved Lunatic.
Yeah, well, both teams played that very well. Like the red team almost got caught up to them, and with that level 20 advantage still, they might be able to secure some sort of advantage.
Yeah, and they still have so many heroics available. May's Ice Wall is just 6 seconds away. And in this choke, it could be dangerous. But Zezil is falling lower and lower. They have to pop the Ice Wall. They have the emergency one as well. But that goes down. I think it was the emergency one already. Maiev is down as well. Without level 20, they are able to take this fight. VIP looking to close the gap here.
Yeah, just fighting in that choke point was really disadvantageous for the red team. Even though you'd expect them with their 2 mages to just fire off their skill shots into that tiny corridor and make something happen. But Hogger spinning around provided the vision for the blue team to be able to know, like, there's our target, here's where you plant our abilities, and that's where we win.
Yeah, even though it was just Hogger there, Hayne and Dear Anise not wanting any part of it. Of course, Hogger has 2 spin talents in their kit right now. They have the aggro range, which means that they can hit a bit more, as well as pummel, slowing and reducing spell power from heroes hit. So really good control here from Depraved Lunatic.
Yeah. Ooh, GL. Gotta be careful there, but has that Seraphim to be able to activate that Unstoppable. And it looks like this mid lane keep will not be long for this world. And that is the first time in this game that the blue team is actually ahead on structures in this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is infest value coming in here. We see the Zagara's got 67,000 damage. That's going to mean that the minions are buffed by some value that is... if we look
67% plus 125 is 192?
Yeah, 192%. I mean, you know, they already do a lot of damage. And doing an additional basically 200% damage on top of that?
Yeah, that's... value!
3 times the damage these minions do.
Yeah, but if you can ever buff a catapult that is firing at a building with that infest talent, that building will die real fast.
Yeah, but we see Mad Morph in a little bit of danger, has to use the burrow charge to get away, but a good pull here onto a splendid target. The Orphea does use the crushing jaws, but it's not enough. We see Depraved Lunatic in a little bit of trouble. Mutrayesta trying to get away, but they're taken down. And guess what's just come onto the map, Scissor? It's the boss.
It's a boss. Well, I think the red team will have to fight for that boss, because that boss is a 20-minute boss, and it will finish the game if left unattended.
Yeah, they could try and go for a cheeky turn in here to try and like sort of balance it out a little bit.
That's probably fair. If they can get a turn in, they'll probably just lose the keep and not outright lose the game.
Yeah.
But you need to secure a turn in real quick, though, because that boss will crash in real fast.
Yeah, and they get it now. Zezil coming to just be a little bit of moral support. We have a raiding party from Samu. Welcome everybody to the Nexus Rumble. Of course, here Mad Morph is trying to make sure that there's a danger zone around the back of that keep. Looking to close that out, and there's so much room here on the top side of this map.
Yeah, this game's over. That boss still 100% HP, and there's no auto-attackers on the red team, so there's no one to clear out that boss real fast.
Well, what they can do is hope that the blue team are standing all around it and they can get resets on the queue from Maiev, but instead they're looking to engage onto the back, onto Supernova. Out comes the Warden Cage, bouncing them around, trying to find something, but Depraved Lunatic spinning around, slowing them down so much. This boss is still on the core, 30% going down. This is GG well played as Vacation in Purgatory take game number 1 here in our Nexus Rumble lower series.
Yeah, GG well played by both teams, and while the red team was ahead ahead in structures for most of that game, I guess, in the end, they did not really have the... Well, if they ever got a kill, they, like we said earlier, they did not really have the heroes to get a massive advantage out of that.
No, we you know, it was very good at the start, and you know, we saw them getting picks off, using that Maiev so aggressively, but once it came around to level 10, they were just sort of struggling to find everything they quite needed. You know, the Cocoon from Nubrak able to shut down a lot of things, as well as the Valkyrie making opportunities here from the Cassia. So really well done here by Vacation in Purgatory, showing that, you know, a Division 4 team, you know, without some of their best players can be, you know, can be seen as a little bit lower division.
Yeah.
Right, we are looking at what the map picks are going to be here. We did have Volskaya Foundry was banned out. We had, of course, Garden of Terror banned out as well.
Not showing on your screen, by the way, what the picks and bans were.
Oh yeah, we are just updating them. That's why.
Fair enough.
And we had Tomb of the Spider Queen was picked by the blue team even, and it was won by them as well. So now it's just a case of what is our second map. I know that we are thinking about between Alterac Pass and Cursed Hollow. Two bigger maps here.
Gotta be Alterac Pass. Nobody wants to play Cursed Hollow. Come on. Give me Alterac.
You know, the Cursed Hollow is the first map I ever saw any HOTS on. I was watching Heroes of the Dawn, and I watched Fan on Illidan go crazy. It was so good.
Oh, I enjoy watching some Fan maps. What? What are you typing?
I was just already saying that it was Alterac Pass because the first pick went over to the team. Yeah, MK Robotics, they picked first pick, so it is going to be Alterac Pass. It's your favorite. It's your favorite.
Yeah, out of these, it's my my actual favorite is Dragonshire, but we had that game earlier, and Dragonshire is not in this small rotation that we have here. So Alterac Pass is my favorite out of these 5 maps.
It's good. It's all good. We will see what we can get up to here. Hogger, once again, going to be a priority for these teams. Maybe we'll see that Zagara get banned out. Obviously, Loweth the Lion not getting superb teamfight value, but ultimately, helping with that siege that helped get that mid keep, and maybe some of that end pressure can be very, very valuable.
And the larger the map is, the more value you can get out of that NEXUS network, like popping around the map. Of course, on smaller maps, you can use this team fight, like regaining your resources real fast. It's not useless, just it's not as good as a mall.
No, of course. I mean, the cooldown reduction is significant still, especially if you are just whacking away with some of those hunter killers.
Fair enough.
Oh, look, you can't convince me that NEXUS network is not great in ARAM.
Well, yeah, but in ARAM you cannot regain any sort of resource. So if you're the only one on the map who has like a consistent healing fountain available to you, then yes,
it's great. It's great. I mean, that's pretty much what Tomb of the Spider Queen is. ARAM. Pretty much. Definitely. Alterac Pass then. Okay, we saw Junkrat banned out as well as Anduin. Are we going to see Hogger banned out in favour? Well, MK Robotics are first pick, of course. They weren't first pick in the first map.
So maybe they'll just leave it open, picking themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I mistakenly said that VIP were the one who did the map pick, but of course they would have picked Alterac Pass had that been the choice. So yeah, I think Junkrat's still going to be a ban here for MK Robotics. You don't want to see that, and ultimately they can leave a few things through. And I think we're just going to see that Anduin ban as well. I don't think there's anything really spectacular from the side of VIP that, they work together well as a team. Maybe the Anubrak would be something you have to be considerate, but, VIP were just working together as a unit. There was not sort of one problem here that MK Robotics were suffering to.
Yeah, I agree. So, yeah, I'd not say... the Anubrak was very, very good, and I don't think there's a tank like that available, so they have to play around something else, and maybe if you ban out the Anubrak, because he has so much CC on his own, that the entire house of cards falls apart like that.
Yeah, I think, that gap closer can be so good. And Nubrak is good on this map as well. You have to remember his minions sort of can soak up the jailers while you channel.
Yep. Just pick a main tank, Samuro instead.
Yeah. Of course, Johanna is available as well. Not insignificant on this map. Still not, optimum, but absolutely not insignificant. So let's see what they want to go for as we go into our game number 2 here in the lower Nexus Rumble on Alterac Pass.
Yeah, I think this is one of Joanna's worst maps because the distance between the lanes is so large, so you can't really use her to clear out a wave and go to the next wave and do like that.
Yeah, and there is sort of a case to be made that the objectives are so long that not having that sort of reliable, easy engage on a shorter cooldown compared to just using Blessed Shield is a little bit rough and tough. But I think she still does fine, obviously clearing out the waves, but she clears out waves, but not really the middle camp very well. It's
exactly.
a little bit tough. So yeah, I'd like to see some prioritization on Blaze maybe in this map.
Of course, the enemy team goes for 2 auto attackers and all that. That dynamic changes again because the blind gets more value. But yeah, I think I like Joanna. Out of all the maps, this one is the worst for Joanna.
What about BOE?
Yeah.
I think there are.
No, there's a case to be made that BOE is sort of kind of the same.
Anyway, we've seen a Nubrak get banned here. Johanna's going to get banned anyway by Vacation in Purgatory. I'm highly expecting still a Junkrat or an Anduin ban here from MK Robotics, unless they want to take one of the two themselves. That is always the case. If you have the opportunity to take one yourselves, you might be banning it earlier, but we're going to see Stukov banned out. I am highly expecting an Anduin ban either from VIP or a pick from MK Robotics with that sort of signalling here from them.
Well, they played a mean Brightwing during the first game, so you pick up that one again.
You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. The second ban here, though, for VIP is going to be covering off a little bit of that weakness, and it is going to be the Maiev. Of course, Muchayesta did do so well on that Maiev. Definitely worth a value ban here for VIP.
Fair enough. I do not disagree with their decision to get rid of the Maiev. It can be such a pesky thing to play into. And while they did all right on Tomb of the Spider Queen, I see why they don't want to deal with that again. And it is indeed Brightwing as a first pick for the MK Robotics.
Yeah, so we see that, that was great value, absolutely, on that Brightwing. But they haven't, they've gone directly for target bans. And, it means that we could see an Anduin coming out. And I do want to see a Hogger.
Junkrat. Oh my. Well, there's the Lily.
Well, yeah, I'm wrong on both accounts here. Says I'm wrong on both accounts.
I was not thinking about the Lily tech, no. And I guess they won game 1, so Azok is allowed.
Azok's allowed to play Lily. I was about to say it could mean that we go to a game 3, but of course this is the Nexus Rumble. But we do see Hogger, highly valuable pick on this map, and Chromie coming out from MK Robotics. I believe I've seen much AS Chromie in the past, and it is certainly formidable. Can be very good on this map as well. Obviously, you have the time traps to sort of scout out some of the rotations and hidden brush areas that Zahaka might appear in. But not only that you can be very long range and interrupt the channel of the objective from safe positions. Now, it's going to be tank ban surely here from VIP.
And I do have claws. Yes, I do have for real claws. They could have just saved that Lily for last pick. Like get a decent hero first, please.
They could have done, but, you've got to first lock it if you get the opportunity, especially in the Nexus Rumble.
I mean, it is flexing on your opponent, I guess.
I mean, 30k did it to Granite Gaming in CCL at the weekend. Wait,
did they first pick Lily?
They did. Well, they might have first picked it, actually, thinking about it. But yeah, Stitch is coming out on the other side of things. Now, we are going to see some sort of comfortable tank coming out here from Mad Morph. I wonder what it is, though. Obviously, Johanna banned, a Nubrak ban, and Stitch is banned. It is going to potentially be a Garrosh, I would suspect.
Yeah, I'd say Varian, but there's no real follow-up for Varian here.
I don't actually know. I'm trying to do some quick research, but there is a Garrosh.
There's Garrosh.
My instincts were right, Scissor. My instincts were right this time.
I am proud of you. So we see a Greymane here and absolutely blast that Garrosh with the bullets. Or do we expect something else? They don't really need Greymane, by the way. They already have Hogger for the camps. So, maybe a bit more wave clear.
Yeah, and we see ETC and Valor coming out. So not a great deal of wave clear additionally, but that pressure onto Garrosh can be a lot. Volt can get you out of a lot of sticky situations where he's trying to throw you in. And ETC on the other side is just a big old control tank, and using the mic check can really bully Garrosh. Quite like this draft here coming out from MK Robotics.
Yeah, well, so okay, you park Hogger in the top lane, you park Chromie in the bot lane, and then you have ETC. Oh my.
Zagara coming out here from Lorithilon. I like it. I like it a lot. You know, it's
I would have liked the draft better if they didn't have a Lily in it.
Yeah. Well, the Cassia Zagara might work. Garrosh, it's all right. I just would have liked some CC on the healer to
what do you mean
help.
The Cassia Zagara might work? It worked game number 1, Scissor.
Yes.
This is the same draft, but they don't have Stukov, they don't have a new brag, and they don't
Yes.
have
Yes,
Hogger.
yes. Keep talking, please. Yes, go on.
I think Hogger would have been a better pick than Dahaka. Even though Dahaka is a superb healer, hero even, and not a healer, Hogger just outclasses him slightly on this map. I think that's one of the few ones he does. But either way, so are you putting your bets behind MK Robotics today?
Yes.
Well, I'm putting it behind VIP. So we can have our fake internet points one day, who knows, as we go to game number 2 here. Next Rumble. Would you like to take us away, Scissor, for the blue team for a change?
I shall. In the blue, on the left side, we have Vacation in Purgatory. We have Azok playing Lily. Metmorph on the Garrosh. Supernova playing Cassia. Lorithalion on the Zagara. And Depraved Lunatic on the Haka.
And on the red team, it is MK Robotics. The ones that Scissor favors, it is Hane on the Hogger. Dear Anise on the Valor. Zezil on the ETC. Shady on the Brightwing. And Muchayester on the Chromie. So Q build coming out from Valor here as well as auto attack once again on the Cassia.
Mm-hmm. And the Infest for Zagara, of course. Yeah.
And Q build also on Chromie, interestingly enough.
I think I think I'd like the Time Walker's Pursuit, but at least you didn't go W, because I think that would have taken a bit too long for the W build to come online.
Yeah, we do see, the Q does mean that you get more ghosts to come up and help target in those awkward scenarios, but ultimately I do also like the Time Walker's Pursuit. Now, camps are coming up. Can Hane line it up nice and quickly? It always takes me a couple of seconds, but I'm sure they are far more experienced.
Yep, Hogger's already there. Cassia's there. Hogger's still waiting.
I'm not quite sure what they were doing, but maybe they were also lining it up. But on the other side, Cassia and Lily are actually doing this fairly quickly.
Yeah, well, just water dragon value, I guess. See, Lily is a good healer. Oh, bottom lane. Yeah, Zagara's dead.
Yeah, and this is
3-man gank.
This is good burst here from Zezil and Muchayesta doing very good job here as the ETC combo.
Yeah, the Q missed though, because she's still at 1 stack.
This is true.
Anyway.
It's a slow roll, but once we get to the objective phase where it comes out to a lot of stalling, that's when we're going to see Muchayesta really start to stack these up, and maybe even Dear Anise as they get another stack here on the Hungering Hour.
It's a bit unfortunate for them that their side has the open objective side and not the closed one, because that's a little bit easier, just throw a skill shot at a limited area instead of whatever that other thing is.
All in good time, Scissor. All in good time. Lorth the Lion has to be careful, though, right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're slowly moving their creep out, but Zezel is trying to make sure that none of it goes down. And once again, a big fat W from Muchayesta puts Lorth the Lion down to a third of their HP.
Yeah, just keep that creep off the map so that they do not have vision, and well, if they are ever stepping up too far, just kill them.
Zezel has to be careful here. Falling really low, goes down to 100 HP, and could have been in some grave danger if they weren't so careful.
Yeah, Zagara is very well known as being a lane bully, just spawning all those Zerg targeting your hero, and well, you'll be brought down fairly quickly if you're not careful.
So ETC
Hoggers
sitting in this
lining up.
off lane. Meanwhile, as you say, Hogger lining up that ability.
It actually cancelled it early, I think, because it didn't bounce out real. And Lily Cassia doing the same on the opposing side as well.
Now we're already seeing a little bit of a different Hogger build coming out. The spin was from Depraved Lunatic earlier, but this time we do have Brute Force, so looking to increase the range of the Loot Horde, as well as hit people with Staggering Blow to try and up that basic attack damage.
Yeah, of course, on two of the Spider Queen, you have all those small corridors, while on Altruc Pass you have much larger open areas, so probably not getting too much value out of that aggro range that they went, I believe.
Yeah, but already with the second mercenary camp picked on this map, picked up, we're going to see the team sort of still play it very calm and cool and not go for the objective. A good throw comes into Mad Morph, but of course Zezel has the power slide available, and they are just still putting the damage on these frontliners here from Chromie and ETC.
Yeah, but so far nothing much else happening. Well, Lane Cigar is still just doing solo stuff, top lane, people still soak in. Yeah, not much happening. Besides the solo kill onto the Zagara. It's a very low kill count early game.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is what Zagara wants to do. She's just saying, like, I'm going to set up here. I'm going to make sure that they can't be a full unit of people elsewhere. We can do the same with the hacker in the other lane, maybe, and just force them to be in a really uncomfortable position where they're trying to rotate down onto the Zagara, but she is just getting value after value, already taken out a whole tower.
I wouldn't be surprised to just not see that Zagara show up for the top objective at all. Like, that's not my lane, I'm not going there. Like, you guys figured it out.
We do, once again, see the camps spawning again. Lorth the Lion now being the one to set up here, not Cassia and Lily. They have to be thinking about the objective. Meanwhile, Hogger, similarly, not in position to do the camp, and we see Dear Anise and Cecil instead. So these teams really not caring about the objective, really focusing on getting to level 10 first, and also having those siege camps available.
Not too surprising. That's usually, you either see it around level 7 that the first team makes a move for the objective, or just ignore it until you hit level 10. And then the ones who hit level 10 first usually make the first move towards the objective.
And there it is, level 10. We do have Warlord's Challenge, the Valkyrie, the Nidus Network, the Isolation, and Azok's favourite talent, the Water Dragons.
Ah, slowing sands instead of the time loop. That's so interesting.
Well, you do have the Cleanse from Lily, of course. There's Burrow on the other side, and Mad Morph as well equally has the dominance. So, you know, perhaps a wise pick here. Meanwhile, the slowing sands can really make it hard for Mad Morph to try and get into easy positions without using that dominance.
I didn't even realize that Lily had a cleanse. Because
it's a cleanse that gets affected by her trait. It's so good.
Oh, yeah, it's also has less cooldown than normal cleanse. Only 40 seconds on it.
It's a really good talent. It's probably the best thing about Lily is that cleanse.
Yeah.
It's shorter range, but it does do good. And out comes the Valkyrie. You saw this previously, but a good blink heal, a good power slide from ETC. But ETC tries to get off that mosh, but it is interrupted by death. Dear Anise gets slowed by that Water Dragon. It's going to be the second kill. Vacation in Purgatory looking so strong here in this opening team fight.
Mosh pit interrupted by death. Transparent 2022.
I mean, it was starting to be channeled, but he did get killed. I think that's a valid statement.
That's fair enough. He actually didn't channel his mosh pit. He only did the wind up thing and then he got killed. So it is not put on cooldown.
Yeah, it was interrupted by death.
Yeah, interrupted by death.
So Zezel can look to try and find something once again, but they are looking to channel first. Oh, and Mad Morph goes for the interrupt, but it's not quite long enough. Something you really don't want to be told.
Fair. Damn it. Fair enough. They were already retreating, so they were not getting this objective on the first channel. So they will have to probably now defend. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of a unlikely thing here as... Oh my days, look at the damage done to Garrosh here. Blue team already channeling the objective on the other side, but Depraved Lunatic and Garrosh obviously have gone down. The mosh pit comes out, Dahaka does go down. Really good stuff here from the red team, finding their aggression that they most needed here.
Yeah, that will probably mean that the first objective will go over to the red team, because these 3 heroes, they're not going to step up to this objective point.
Yeah, I'd say that was a little bit of a mistake, obviously, from VIP. They weren't quite positioned around the objective. It allowed the red team to find their way quickly in, get a quick channel, and that forced a reaction. A forced a reaction that they weren't ready for. Zagara was still in the top lane. Garrosh just walked in, unfortunately got basically body blocked and just eliminated already by this Valor build. And there's still Manticore available at level 16, should they want it.
And that's why this closed objective point, once you lose it, it's very hard to get back on it, because there's only really 3 points of access, and if your entire team is showing off mid, well, then the enemy team knows which point you're coming from, and there's no real bushes to access that point from.
Yeah, now the red team, they're pushing in this mid one, focusing the priority of this camp wave. ETC struggling with a little bit of damage, but able to get away. Instead, Hayne is now tanking the fort. No, they are still looking back at ETC. They've been swapping over really nicely here, and they are able to get the fort down. Meanwhile, though, Zagara defended top super easily, and Dahaka without a scratch as well.
Well, that bottom objective is still going, and they're knocking on this keep door wall, and the wall's fallen. So that's one keep exposed in the mid lane.
It's one way sometimes to deal with split pressure is to just go super aggro and just say, look, if you're going to split push us, we're just going to push you hard. A nice mosh pit attempt, but Mad Morph superbly with the taunt. ETC does not get away as some of the damage goes through. Brightwing teleported in to do some healing, but there's going to be Azok that falls as well as Valor. So many heroics being popped here, but it's going to be a 3-for-1 trade. No way, Depraved Lunatic gets some damage onto the Hogger, but they do spin away.
Did you see Lily was in the backline and Garrus was like, hey, here's Vala, here you go. And then Vala was like, well, I'm dead, so are you.
Might as well take down Azok while I'm at it. Yeah, very nicely done here from both teams, but ultimately, Vacation in Purgatory coming out on top by 2 kills. ETC really trying to find that mosh pit, but a good interrupt from Mad Morph really helped out there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Zagara is doing in that top lane, setting up around that boss, and I don't think that's the plan of attack that this game has in store for them.
Well, when you've got the Nidus network, you know, your basic attack reduces Zagara's cooldowns, and that's just on anything. So you just take boss while on the creep, you get basic attack cooldown reduction. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I'll believe you when I see that happen.
Depraved Lunatic doing some fantastic geometry here, making sure they know exactly where Hog is going to end, and then Azok finishes them off with a big old water dragon. Good stuff here from Vacation in Purgatory, finding that kill, and now they've gone straight onto this bottom boss.
Yeah, I think Zagara has to be very careful because she has eyes on ETC and Chromie, and if ETC gets a mosh pit on Zagara, that Zagara is dead.
Yeah, Lorthaline able to dodge out on one of the Qs, but the slowing stance comes down. Now the auto attack still there. Zezel able to get that power slide, and a big auto attack means that Zagara does go down. Oh, Depraved Lunatic burrowed in here, able to get the burrow as well to make sure they get away from Zezel, but he gets a good power slide, knocks him back, and Dahaka does go down a little bit.
I'm not sure what the blue team is thinking at the moment. That's not how I don't think that's how you're supposed to play that. Anyway, free boss for the red team in exchange for their bottom boss. So both those forts will be exchanged probably.
But the secret was that the red team did the most important camp on the map. They did the middle camp, and that has netted them almost an entire keep here in the mid lane.
Now, catapult pressure isn't the end of the world on this map, because Discord does regenerate, and team fight happening around the objective point, but it does look like the blue team will be able to back off slowly and securely.
Yeah, obviously,
Yeah,
boss in the bot lane, already taken out pretty much, but then at the top, still very healthy, and Shady supporting it as a Brightwing.
yeah, those auto attacks. Whoa.
I mean, it's not nothing. It's not nothing,
Yeah.
Scissor.
It's fair. Fair enough, fair enough. She is supporting that boss, and while she's not needed, she can still always play. Oh, Brightwing being harassed by the Haka using tongue, and Brightwing using escape, really.
Yeah, Dahaka using the slow they have from their W to be able to land that tongue.
The Haka might be in trouble, actually, because there's 4 red ears rotating. Nice speedy burrow. Oh, he doesn't have invisibility. Never mind, he's dead.
No essence, no fun allowed. And yeah, of course, because they went for the slow on the W at level 13, they don't have sort of the additional auto attack damage. So it does mean that unfortunately they weren't able to finish off Brightwing nice and quickly.
Yeah, so now these 4 blue heroes will have to... Oh, mosh pit! Oh, she got knocked out by the Hogger! The Cassia was in the mosh pit, but Hogger was like, here you go, have a freebie.
Hayne must be so frustrated there. They put down their garbage, their loot pile there,
Oh
to
my
try and knock them into it. But unfortunately they slid off and made it out of the mosh pit.
Well, Cassia was sure to thank the Hogger in the chat for their help.
A little bit of BM there maybe.
Yeah.
But level 18s are here. We now have the piercing sands that really help with this Chromie interrupting
The
this
blue team's
objective. And we
channeling.
already see it. The Water Dragon does come out, helps get the stun onto ETC, means that ETC does go down. Hogger able to get the stun, and with, you know, Muchayesta interrupting the channels of the blue team, the red team have claimed the objective, but without an ETC, can they make the value out of it here, Scissor?
Think they will get the bottom lane fort, and that will be pretty much it. Like, the blue team is even pushing forwards to maybe get that mid lane fort at the same time. Not sure why they're pushing. Just proactively defending against this cavalry thing.
Yeah, well, a good offense is a good defense, or something like that. The best defense is a good offense? Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
But Dahaka
Yeah.
has to be a little bit in trouble here, as Muchayesta coming in for the flank on the Chromie. Not the best flanking hero, but still puts a little bit of fear into Depraved Lunatic, as the rest of the red team try and siege down this bottom fort.
The same thing with the 4 DPS build-up. If you have that opponents, that's the best form of CC that you have.
Azog there trying to pop their double dragon, but the red team able to quickly escape from it, meaning that it goes on this 50-second cooldown without getting any value whatsoever.
Well, I was wrong. The bottom fort is still standing, so the only thing that the red objective did was basically making sure that the blue team did not have it. And yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, and now we have a nice little bit of waiting to go down. The bottom boss is in 30 seconds, 37 seconds. Top is in 1 minute. The blue team should be thinking about how can we set this up? How can we find a cheeky kill maybe with our dragons? Or do we want to be setting up some sort of big split push for Lorith the Lion? That tongue comes onto ETC. Mad Moth is looking for the taunt. They find it, but ETC will now be free to mosh pit if they so wish. The throw comes out. Out comes the double dragon, focusing onto that Valor as they got thrown in. Really good work here from the blue team. Able to get a nice kill, and now they're looking to siege up this mid lane, Scissor.
What does ETC have? Torbas. Okay. So he can channel the mosh pit and then slide in, but that's about it. We also have, what was interesting, Acrobat on the Vala. So the hyper arrows and not the Firefly quiver.
Oh, another tongue from Depraved Lunatic. Looking to try and find something, but they're able to press W and escape.
We also have the area, the AoE pixie dust, and not the invisible. I see a lot of interesting level 20s being picked.
Yeah, I mean, the Hogger has gone, of course, for no control. Which they can use a little bit with their level 1 talent to sort of get a little bit of rage from that and then go no control to try and do the maximum damage. Zagara using their Nidus network here to be able to come to the top and defend it. A good choice here, but the red team now moving towards that middle keep to try and take it down. Is Zagara going to get there in time to do some defense? Looks like they do.
I mean, the middle keep doesn't really matter.
It's still a keep. It's still a keep.
It's a keep, yeah, and if you can defend it. I mean, as the red team, I'd see the Zagara, I'd see the boss pinged, and then I would like, oh, well, they're all at that boss pit. We can basically take this keep.
Yeah, they tried it, but no. And now the blue team have the decision. What do they want to do? And it looks like they're just going to take back some of the rest of the map here. One of those things being perhaps channeling this objective, but Muchayesta is putting on a grand defense.
Yeah, that's what the Chromie is good for. Shelling away at an objective point. Here we go. We got the channel. Now they just need to make sure that they keep it for 50 seconds. That's a long time.
It is a long time, but speaking of long times, Lorith the Lion is trying to take a camp at the top, which is the boss camp, which might take them a long time, and the red team have sniffed it out.
Yeah, you don't want to be here. You don't want to be here when that red team arrives.
And it looks like the blue team are retreating for now. Depraved Lunatic still thinking about getting a tongue, though. They know that they want it. They know they want to try and find something because that has been winning them these team fights so quickly by getting a cheeky tongue straight away. Oh, yeah. And the red team are thinking about it. They have the Valor Q build with the Acrobat. They're able to pump out so many Qs, and look how quickly it goes down.
Oh, damn, that boss is dropping so fast. Well, yeah, you're not looking for a hot second, and now the boss is gone. But they do still want that team fight to happen, and the Haka is in the backline, but no opportunity for a tongue there. So
Acrobat giving you 2 additional charges of Vault means that you just are able to spring forward with 4 hungering arrows. I mean, 30 stacks isn't a lot of stacks, but they still were able to do so much damage onto that boss so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, that's an extra 150% damage on Hungry. Wait, there's 4 blue heroes going on to this objective against 5. Zagara's showing on the map, guys. You don't want to be there.
Well, they can position forward a little bit, but Zezil may be looking to get some speedy thing. They do have speed metal. There is some pixie dust as well. They're knocking about the Lily. They do get knocked out of here. Maybe they can survive. Azog doing some dancing, pressing Q, pressing R, and it's a big double dragon here as it slows down, and we have a pause.
Oh no, worst timing ever.
Mujiesta has lags. It will give some time to recoup, as in the bot lane there is a bit of a siege going on here from the minions. I'm not showing it right now, but we do have Azok thinking about their grand escape, maybe plotting their route, maybe thinking, how do we get out of here, guys? The red team thinking, what are we doing? Are we going after Lily? She will surely escape. Or will we just engage on the team where they don't have a healer and they don't have a Zagara, because Zagara is dealing with that boss in the top lane?
How will Lily escape exactly? Because in my opinion, Lily's dead.
Well, there's a hungering arrow going after her, and if that hits her, it won't kill her, but it will give her movement speed, which she should be able to do to get away from there, and also will give them cooldown reduction on their Q. And they have Eager Adventure, which means that they have the fast feet duration increased. So they should be able to get lots of speed. They've just used Double Dragon, just slowed down the rest of the team. And I think Lily is getting away here.
Okay, well, but this entire team fight it's on the blue team. They were positioned aggressively, like on the red team's objective, while Zagara is showing in the top lane. If they lose this team fight, they have no one to blame but themselves.
I think their plan was like to... I don't know what their plan was. Like they maybe they felt more comfortable like defending further forward, because, you know, they wanted to try and distract them, so they didn't just quickly get the camp, and also distract them from the bottom keep push that is going on by the minions right now. So yeah, let's ask the question if both teams are good. Looks like one team is ready. The blue team may be getting ready themselves. I'm going to transition back. We can have a little look. Once again, these minions down in the bottom, something to watch out for. Zagara is over here taking care of the boss. The rest of the teams are fighting in the middle. With Lily looking to try and make the grand escape. Out comes... Oh, the stop there. They went into the time trap, and it does mean that Lily does go down. See, I didn't have that on my bingo card. Lily runs into time trap. That was the problem, Scissor.
Yeah, that was... Okay, yeah. Let's blame the time trap. Anyway, there's 2 keeps at very low HP, so if the red team gets this objective, it may not end the game, but these 2 keeps are ripe for the take-in.
They certainly are. We see Lorthalion very low on mana right now. They'll be needing to either get into a Nidus or tap the well. Now, the other side of things, it looks like the red team are just going to be taking this objective. You know, the blue team can't fight without their healer, and they just have to try and put as much pressure on, and that is what this mid is doing. You know, there is a large minion wave there. There is a camp coming, but Hogger is spinning away, doing the siege camp, and will be able to clean up that minion wave. No problemo.
During all that, the red team's bottom lane keep has fallen, though, so that's something for the blue team.
Yeah, and these minions, they shouldn't end the game at this point. I think one wave of minions can technically do it, but it takes a very long time. I think technically.
No, this core is way too strong.
Especially now that the cavalry has arrived.
Yeah, no, it doesn't need that. I mean, if the minion wave is very, very big, like twice the size that minion wave was in the bottom lane, maybe.
Technically.
Like you need 3 gnolls. You need 3 gnolls for that.
Also, not to be ignored, but Infest is now up to 300%. So
yeah, the longer this, they're still scaling, I guess.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of damage here coming out if they are able to defend this, if they are able to find some sort of sieging value with some minions.
Okay, but the mid lane keep was ignored, so they do need to take that one down. Otherwise, this core is very, very powerful. The blue team is kind of split at the moment. They're fighting the creep wave and defending the mid keep at the same time. But now with 2 keeps down, these bosses are actually dangerous, and these minions will eventually kill the core with 2 keeps down.
Yeah, but they are able to defend it, and the red team are backing out. There is bosses available in 1 minute 31 at the top side of things. And they have that Valor that can just nuke it so quickly. So if they get that opportunity, that is what the red team are going to be doing. Bottom boss is up and available, and they are going towards it. But it's going to be scouted out. Still, though, are they going to have enough time to come and defend it? The blue team have to be so quick here because it's Acrobat Valor. There is a burrow coming into the back. That's going to split the team. It's still on 50%. It's a good silence onto the back. The contagion spreads are around, but the ETC is going for that mosh pit. The cleanse is able to get Cassie around. The ETC goes down. There is no death mosh available. And of course, the rest of the DPS were zoned out at the back by this Dahaka. Beautiful stuff here by the blue team. Can they find some sort of end game scenario with this boss in the bot lane?
Very well played. I think it's a very tough call to make with 3 people still alive.
Yeah, they've put Zagara to go back. And because the minion wave is stalled by another minion wave from the red team, I think this boss just isn't going to get enough value here.
Zagara is doing the siege camp. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. Especially not with the rest of her team still pushing here. Like, the team should either BS5 and push with this boss and try to end, or go for a keep somewhere.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense here. This is a 4 versus 3 boss call. They look for the Valkyrie. They get it. The tongue is there as well. Valor goes down. Now they can look at going for boss. It's a 50% HP. The boss is still tanking it really well, but they have to be careful. It does so much damage in an AoE. It is just Cassio on here. Vacation and Purgatory are trying to do it. Scissor, they are looking to do it. It's got 20% left, but can ETC find the golden mosh? Can they do something? If they don't get it down, the hog here is going hog wild, but GG, well played as VIP take game number 2 and Sting getting the points.
Yeah, well played by them. I still question the decision of sending Zagara back down because while your core is weakened because there's 2 keeps down, it's still a very strong core.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have said, like, okay, you're sending Zag back, siege mid, like do something else, like open up the map in a little bit of a different area, go for the mid, like the mid camp was available if you really wanted to, but if you're going core, go core with probably everybody.
Yeah, either go core with everybody or have that boss go core and set up for the top boss, take down that fort, take down that keep.
Yeah, there were other ways, but I mean, maybe VIP just big brained it. Maybe they knew that Zag needed to defend the minion waves. Maybe that camp that they took was essential to their victory, as VIP were the victors today, Scissor.
Yeah, well, very well played by them, of course. Very well played by the red team as well. Just tiny bit, not enough. But other than that, very enjoyable games, all of them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Of course, we have the Nexus Rumble of Heroes Lounge every Monday at 20 CEST. We've got one more week of qualifiers, and then we'll be going into our semis, finals. And after that, there'll be some grand finals coming up as well. So don't miss us on Mondays, that's for sure. We've got some exciting content to come. But Scissor, we can find you on Twitch sometimes, can't we?
Yeah, whenever I'm live, you can find me there. Usually it's announced in the Heroes Lounge stream announcements, so keep an eye on that. Or go ahead to my channel, follow me there, get notifications like that. That works as well.
Yeah, you can find obviously the announcements in the Twitch Discord, which you can do ! Discord if you want to take part in that. But this has been a grand night tonight. We're going to be passing you over to potentially a German stream. I just realized I'm going to double check if they are streaming in German or not. It is an English cast, so we're going to be going over to Random Aggro.
Oh, that's always good to know. Everyone, have a good night and see you all next time.
Goodbye. Good evening and welcome to the Nexus Rumble. As Vidra is falling lower and lower, and Mad Morph is going to try and get that down, but no, Lucy is there with the healing, gets silenced, gets slowed himself. Vidra is able to get away, Tetracell as well. Red team really able to turn around. There's the taunt. Galgar is going to possibly fall themselves, but no! Instead, it's alright, he's going to get taken out by Johanna as well.
Pushing in, but Vidra now, Wing of Frost coming in, and Johanna is getting bursted, but the counter kill against Jahanna, immediately the taunt works going in onto Woozer. He's dropping low with his dead life. He does for now, but no, he does not.
You have Leap Sonya, which can be good enough for engage. There's the leap. The Valkyrie could be coming out shortly as well, but here's the grabber bomb. B-Boss is falling lower and lower. He's got 700 HP, but he's able to get that heal from the well himself. There comes the Ring of Frost, but Blue team able to get an almost a full team wipe. But here we go, the taunt already coming out onto Johanna. The follow-up may be coming out. Here's the grabber bomb pulling in on Barry, and they're going for him. The Protected comes out just a bit too early for the lurking on to interrupt, but Woozer is in grave danger himself and does get taken out. This is fantastic stuff for the red team as they're going to keep chasing forward. They're low on health, but Lucio is fine with that. Going to be able to heal them up nicely. The sound barrier already used earlier in this fight, but they're going forward. The taunt comes out once again. Jaina able to ice block and make sure that she's not taken down, and slows put onto that cooldown to the wall. There's the Odin already popped, and we see SkyX looking in. There's a beautiful silence from Woozer, and the blue team are just going to take this, but no, the sound barrier is there to deny a little bit of damage onto the Sonya, but Cassia is the first one to go down as the Ring of Frost catches 3 people. The leap is back in and hits the Tychus, but with that 25 armor means that he's able to keep alive. Sonya does indeed go down afterwards without damage follow-up of Cassia. It looks like the fight is going